symptom set of delusions is considered to be a positive symptom. Delusions are related to thought. However, they're specifically related to the content of thought. Thought can be broken down into content and form. Imagine that as you are listening to me, you are also thinking to yourself, I need to go out to the supermarket and get something for dinner tonight. I want something easy. I might buy some noodles. If we drew you as a cartoon character and wrote your thoughts into a thought bubble over your head, these words would reflect the content of your thought. Now, delusions involve people having a false belief, so the content of their thought is inaccurate or false. Their false thoughts are not explained by their religious or cultural beliefs. In other words, we can't say, well, this person holds that belief because they come from this particular religious or cultural group, and most people within that group also hold this belief. Importantly, with regard to delusions, we are referring to the false beliefs that a person holds despite all evidence to the contrary. It's absolutely pointless to try and persuade someone with a delusion that they are incorrect. There are several different types of delusions. Two examples are delusions of persecution and delusions of grandeur. Delusions of persecution have a paranoid flavour to them, with a theme of others being out to get you. To give you a sense of what I mean, people experiencing delusions of persecution will tell others that somebody is watching them. They may think that while they were sleeping, somebody inserted a microchip into their brain to monitor their thoughts, or that they are being followed wherever they go. Now, I work here in Australia. Our equivalent of the US Central Intelligence Agency, or CIA, is the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation, or ASIO for short. Despite 20 years of working with people suffering from different types of mental illnesses, I have actually yet to meet somebody experiencing a delusion of persecution who tells me that they think ASIO is out to get them. It's always the CIA. The CIA is out to get me. Sometimes the FBI, but never ASIO. Perhaps ASIO isn't very well known, or perhaps it's just seen as a fairly non-threatening organisation. I'm not sure, but you just don't see it getting a mention in people's delusions of persecution. What about delusions of grandeur? This is where someone believes that they possess qualities or attributes that make them superior to other people. For instance, money, fame, talent, intelligence, or perhaps a special relationship with someone in a position of power. Somebody who is experiencing a delusion of grandeur may think they're really famous or that they've achieved something really phenomenal, for instance, finding a cure for cancer. To give you another example, I would be experiencing a delusion of grandeur if I thought that I was Taylor Swift's best friend. That would be a delusion of grandeur because in our society, Taylor Swift is a celebrity, and for me to be her best friend would mean that by association, I would also be an important person. The first person I met who was experiencing a delusion of grandeur believed he was Jesus Christ, and he wouldn't talk to me unless I called him by his preferred name, which was Mr. Christ. As long as I called him that, he was happy to talk to me. And just to highlight my earlier point, you don't argue with people about their delusions. It's an absolutely pointless and antagonistic thing to do. You just roll with it, which in that case meant calling the gentleman Mr. Christ and trying to build a relationship with him.